I'm not a rabbi, although with the barber shops closed, I'm starting to look like one. So today I want to take a look at the Shavuot holiday not from a religious point of view, but simply as an Israeli. Specifically, through the lens of differences in the interpretation of the holiday by different layers of Israeli society. The festival of Shavuot literally translates as weeks, meaning 7 weeks after Passover. But Shavuot also has additional names that reflect various aspects of its essence. Today, we will focus on 3 names: the Festival of the Giving of the Torah, the Festival of the First Fruits, and the Festival of the Reaping. And it seems to me that the subconscious divide in the Israeli society falls precisely on different emphasis on the semantics of these names. Of course, in Judaism, the different names of this holiday are part of the whole and are inseparable from each other. But some Israelis emphasize its agricultural nuances, while others focus on the significance of the giving of the Torah. In kibbutzim, for example, the Israeli collective farming communities, Shavuot is the most important holiday. In kibbutz, you will enjoy processions with the gifts of the fields, musical and dance performances with agricultural motifs. And throughout Israel, festivals and fairs of dairy and other agricultural produce are being held. And many Israelis are content with this component and associate the holiday with it. Other Israelis, religious or secular, put the giving of the Torah at the forefront, and not only because of special prayers and religious practices of Shavuot. For instance, one of the customs is of Tikkun Leil Shavuot, literally correction of the night of Shavuot. On the night of the holiday, some Jews do not go to sleep and devote themselves to an all-night Torah study, thus correcting the behavior of the Jewish biblical ancestors, who overslept and were not ready in time for the Sinai revelation. This learning is practiced not only among religious Israelis, but also among many secular Jews. The Israeli internet is now full of invitations to the evening or nightly educational sessions on both religious and philosophical topics. After all, the teaching of the Torah, like any teaching, is an enlightenment. Of course, many Israelis do both. Both rejoice in the fruits of the earth and in being enlightened, but not all. And it seems to me that the watershed passes precisely on the primacy of these two components, folklore or philosophical. Is the Torah a fundamental authority in the life of an Israeli, religious or secular? Do Israelis of various origins draw their values and morality from the Torah or from universal human sources, only flavoring them with Jewish tradition? What is more important, the principles of the Torah or the principles of democracy? Does Israel's right to exist stem primarily from the giving of the Torah on Shavuot by a higher power? Or is this right source man-made international law? Yes, of course, all these principles coexist quite well in Israeli everyday life. But when they do contradict each other, what comes first? I think every Israeli answers these questions in accordance with the primary meaning that they attach to Shavuot: the festival of the giving of the Torah or the festival of the first fruits. But the holiday has another name, the Harvest Festival. Like many other Jewish holidays, Shavuot marks not only a certain historical event, but also the onset of a new time of the year and the completion of the next agricultural cycle. And how symbolic that this holiday fell on a new cycle of coronavirus battle in Israel. The new cycle of removing most of the lockdown restrictions. It seems that Israel is coping with the virus quite well. The number of deceased and infected is quite low. Kindergartens and elementary schools are already open. Shopping centers, accept customers, and now restaurants, bars, swimming pools, and tourist attractions are already opening. So Israel celebrates a new season, a new cycle, and new hopes, which is only appropriate for the holiday of Shavuot. Chag Shavuot Sameach.